Yesterday was a real turn-up for the books, then. Martinez romping in here then to get the applause of the crowd, taking the oval race leadership yet again. Bertolis won the stage, but looking on to today's race, we have this man here from Norway, really setting an enormous pace in his unusual jersey, which you just see. R.Hoydahl was the man of the match today. Well, yesterday, really, H.Pallhuber found it one of those days when really everything goes wrong when you thought it was going to go right. He set off a tremendous pace early on during the race. His team were attacking all the way through, and Bertolis, his teammate, did all the right things to go with him too, to soften up the Sun team. But in the end, coming toward the back end of the race, disaster was going to strike H.Pallhuber. The Sun team did what they could. Ngorsel here taking Martinez round the course he knew so well. Martinez, though, falling from grace, still had to do what he can to catch back what was one time a 3-minute deficit on H.Pallhuber. H.Pallhuber had started the day less than 1 minute in arrears, and at one point was overall race leader, particularly riding with his teammate, but suddenly disaster struck for the second time. He'd punctured, he had no more spares left, so he rode in on the rim. The last 2 kilometres were agony for this man. Relentlessly, his chasers began to reel him in, and suddenly Martinez saw his man down the road and pounced. Martinez had gone through a very bad patch. His teammates had helped him all they could do, but for poor H.Pallhuber, the world champion, he was struggling. Not only was he having trouble racing in like that, but his teammate took the stage victory. That was some consolation for the Diamondback team, but for H.Pallhuber, disaster had struck several times. 2 punctures and 1 crash. Martinez, though, romping in, knew he'd got that green jersey still secure on his shoulder. His number one protagonist had problems.
Forato, bucar gomma.
Picture.
Excuse the language. Any athlete watching this program, any bike rider, any professional performer, anybody who takes part in international competition will know what this man was going through right now. He'd given it all. And it all gone wrong in the last 2 kilometres.
Lo so. Calma, Ubi.
At moments like this, nobody can console an athlete who just seen the chance of victory snap from him. But nevertheless, later on, after the team manager had cleaned the bikes and the mechanics had sorted things out, the chance actually for a bit of rest, relaxation, H.Pallhuber to think about what might have been.
I don't know, it's a day for me or not. I'm not sure, you know. If I can, I would like to try again, but no, it's getting really difficult, so...
Feeling like an old soldier.
I'm not more 100%, maybe just more 90. I don't think 90% is enough. But I'm a hard fighter, so I don't give up enough now. So. I try to make it hard for Miguel again, so, but it's not more just Miguel, it's also C.Dupouey is really close. So I had a hard work tomorrow.
H.Pallhuber then.
Moi, c'est Karine, à Larry.
Let's now look at the backroom boys and girls as well. The people who keep the races on course. A tremendous job, as you might imagine, with the riders taking something like 50 miles across country. These are the banners that they use, and the whistles too, to warn about the riders coming. And of course, the ever-present radio.
Les lunettes, écran total. Jules, tu te fais la traversée de la D34, c'est OK?
Oui, chef.
Ça roule?
Well, she's just talking to the riders here, the marshals here, about how they've got to go about their duties. Off they go into these Renault Kangos, part of the sponsors of the VTT, and off they go. They've all got their maps marked of where they go to stand on which part of the course to make sure that nobody goes off course on what is a very difficult day's work for these people.
On est
là tout simplement pour faire la prévention et pour éviter donc.
They're saying that Chief gives us position to every one of us, and they make sure that we don't get riders lost. So a quick look at the people who keep the race on the road. There are 81 riders left for the 7th stage, the longest stage of the race, those 89 kilometres, that's just over 55 miles. And look at the course, fairly undulating and a bit of a bump at the back end before they hit the finish at Draguignan. Well, let's hear about the action today.
What's with this new shirt?
Wow.
And his shirt.
Martinez, he don't like that I wear this jersey on the race. But now he's gone to Caprud, so well, I hope you don't make too much TV coverage of me today, so we'll see. But I like it. It's a Norwegian champion jersey.
Well, we spotted you, young man, H.Pallhuber, in the championship jersey of Norway, and you'll be very easy to pick out today as these 81 riders set off on this long stage. Intense heat too. It's never let up all the way through, and it's getting worse. They go further down the southeast of France. Well, it started rather slowly to begin with, but the fatigue and the heat and the exceptional long distance have started to take their toll on the riders. But nevertheless, the top men are still searching for that chance today to try and topple the man who started in first place. M.Martinez starting out on the stage with just 2 minutes and 7 seconds lead on H.Pallhuber. And so team tactics came into play. C.Dupouey was sent down the road for the Sun team to try and break the string. Well, he was third overall to start the day, 3 minutes 39 seconds back. And so going away down the road meant that the Diamondback boys had to chase after Dupouey. That would suit Martinez. He was also a Sun rider. He got the leader's jersey. So one by one they set after Pallhuber and Dupouey. Behind, Martinez could just follow the wheels, letting Dupouey do all the work. Martinez there in the green, following the wheels. Just behind him was Pallhuber, and also H.Hoydahl in the jersey of the Norwegian champion. The Sun were in enormous numbers. You can see them there in the blue jerseys. The Sun team doing the tactics perfectly, sending Dupouey down the road. After 5 kilometres, Dupouey still in front of the leading group, with the Diamondback team trying to get Pallhuber in position. Coming through the assist area, the gaps are opening up. Dupouey still in the front. 30 seconds ahead of the Diamondback rider Zoli. The Belgians, H.Pallhuber and Bonan, Volvo Cannondale, but problems here then for Christensen. And as he took out his back wheel, thinking he'd got a problem with his gear mech, it was all revealed there, because suddenly they spotted that the back fork end had pulled out of the frame. Big problems then for Christensen. Winner last year in the VTT Tour de France, he was out on his own. Dupouey still going like stink. At 24 kilometres, now 1 minute and 8 seconds ahead of a chasing group. Working perfectly, H.Hoydahl came at the front. With H.Hoydahl following on behind him, Martinez looking good at the moment, together with Bonnard, Polisson, Zazone and Zoli. Pallhuber was still there too. They're 1 minute 53 back. Quite a revelation this particular time was the Orbea rider, Lesum. He was way down in general classification, but riding very much this day like a man getting stronger as the race went on. This is a chase group led by Pallhuber, who dropped off that pack, including Martinez. But look right behind him, in second spot was one of the Sun Riders, just marking his wheels. Evans started to move up in the orange. Still Dupouey in the lead. But his gap is coming down now all the time. R.Hoydahl leading the group through. There, Martinez quickly on the brakes, foot on the ground, whizzes round. At the back, Lezon, the Spaniard, looking good. Chase group coming on behind. H.Pallhuber was still desperately trying to close the gap. He's 1 minute 15 seconds in arrears now. 40 kilometres have gone by the race, and the Czech's coming in at the second assist of the day. Dupouey now is about to be caught by the R.Hoydahl and Barnard group. And R.Hoydahl starts to put the pressure on and go forward. Martinez lets him go because R.Hoydahl was no great threat over on general classification. So 50 kilometres, R.Hoydahl now starts to pull ahead of the main group. R.Martinez, the cousin of Miguel, has also come up to the leading group as well. But R.Hoydahl's on his own. The gap's opening up all the way through. Further back, H.Pallhuber's in trouble. He's got a flat tire and loses even more time. H.Pallhuber's going to have a disastrous day. At the end of the day, he's going to finish 15 minutes and 18 seconds down on the victor. R.Hoydahl's still out on his own. Looks like he's got the race well and truly stitched up. But the chase group, led now by Martinez in the green, has got with him Lezon and also his cousin, R.Martinez. That's the race leader in the green on the front at the moment. The three chasing begin to pull back R.Hoydahl, who's having troubles. They've got him in sight. Just watch this. This is mountain bike racing. Watch it. Technique and tenacity. Sheer determination. A race which in 8 days is going to cover some 500 miles. And that's just the racing bit. They also have the transition to do as well. There the Albert rider, Lezon from Spain, looking good too.